Manchester United returned to Premier League action this Sunday, with the visit of Aston Villa to Old Trafford. It concludes an extended 11-day break for the Reds, following our late loss last time out against Newcastle United. Michael Carrick will be looking to lead his side back to winning ways against a side we enter the game level on points with, this being a crucial meeting in the context of the top four battle. Carrick is expected to be without Matthijs Ligt and Dorgu for this game, with both still recovering from longer-term injuries. Mason Mount and Lisandro Martinez are also working towards returns, while we await an update on Nussair Mazraoui, who started in our last outing against Newcastle United, but left the field towards the end of the game, seemingly in some discomfort. Mason Mount has actually resumed group training and could be in contention to return when United host Aston Villa. The midfielder hasn't been involved for the Reds since his late cameo in Michael Carrick's very first game, the 2-0 derby win over Manchester City in January. Mount had a late goal disallowed against Pep Guardiola's side and was then an unused substitute for our 3-2 victory at Arsenal. Mason unfortunately picked up an injury during training the following week, but Carrick has revealed that our number 7 is back with the squad at Carrington and approaching first-team football again. Nussair Mazraoui trained this week despite coming off with a knock during our 2-1 defeat at Newcastle United 9 days ago. Matthijs Ligt, Dorgu, and Lisandro Martinez, however, are set to miss the meeting with Unai Emery's side, as we seek to consolidate our position in the UEFA Champions League qualification places. Youri Tielemans, Boubacar Kamara, and Andres Garcia are set to be missing for the visitors. John McGinn was progressively getting better from his knee injury sustained in January, when the situation was last addressed by Unai Emery, so it remains to be seen whether he's in contention to play at Old Trafford. Harvey Elliott and Matty Cash are the only other players with recent issues. John McGinn returned from a 2-month layoff, as Villa beat Lille 1-0 in the Europa League on Thursday. The Scotland international had missed the previous 10 games after suffering a knee injury in January, with Villa recording just 2 Premier League wins in his absence. But his appearance as a late substitute boosts Emery's options in midfield, as Boubacar Kamara and Youri Tielemans are still out. Harvey Elliott also featured at the Stade Pierre-Mauroy following a spell on the sidelines, but Matty Cash was absent with a calf injury. Lamar Bogard deputized at right back. Jadon Sancho started in France but is unavailable for this fixture due to the terms of his loan. However, a former Red could be involved in the shape of Victor Lindelof. Now let's take a closer look at our opponents. We meet the Villans at a difficult time, as they are without a win in all competitions since the middle of February. That includes a loss to Newcastle in the Emirates FA Cup and a draw with Leeds United in the Premier League, followed by consecutive losses to Wolverhampton Wanderers and Chelsea. The Midlands outfit do, however, have arrested that slip in form before they head to Manchester this weekend with a UEFA Europa League win over Lille on Thursday. Emery might likely see this as a chance to lift the squad, but with a tight turnaround to our meeting on Sunday, the Reds may benefit from the longer break. Let's take a bite at the top 4 race. This game is an important clash in terms of the battle for UEFA Champions League football next season, as we currently occupy 3rd place on goal difference, and our opponents are just behind, in 4th. A United win would see us solidify our current berth, but a loss would see Villa leapfrog us in the table. We must also keep an eye further down the rankings, as Chelsea and Liverpool are both only 3 points behind, with their goal tallies meaning both have a chance to enter the top 4 at the expense of a losing side at Old Trafford this weekend. The Blues welcome Newcastle to Stamford Bridge on Saturday before their very difficult return leg with Paris Saint-Germain. The Merseysiders face Tottenham Hotspur in the late kickoff following our game on Sunday. They do have a difficult return leg with Galatasaray in the Champions League. However, it's worth pointing out that with England currently topping UEFA's coefficient charts, 5th place in the Premier League could be enough to secure Champions League entry next term. But we're better off remaining in the top 4. Michael Carrick revealed that his Manchester United squad are really embracing the challenge that the top 4 race has presented so far. Our first bump in the road under Carrick came last time out, in our narrow 2-1 defeat to Newcastle United at St. James's Park. The head coach discussed reacting to that setback, and why the Reds are still in such good spirits, with the chance to record a decisive win in the race for Europe.
Yeah, it's an important game, as any. One we're looking forward to, and we're manoeuvred ourselves into such a good position now, and been a positive couple of months that we kind of want to build on, and obviously coming off the back of losing a game, but it happens. It happens, and you've seen it. Pretty much everyone over recent weeks have lost. So that's what this league brings, and putting things in perspective and understanding what we can do a little bit better. But the boys have been really good in training again, and just looking forward to the next game.
So as the lights come on at Old Trafford this Sunday, the stakes couldn't be much higher. Manchester United return from their extended break with something to prove. The narrow defeat to Newcastle may have been a setback, but under Michael Carrick, this team has shown resilience, character, and a growing belief that they're back among the Premier League's elite. Aston Villa arrive with their own ambitions, desperate to climb into the Champions League places and turn their recent struggles around. With both sides level on points, this isn't just another league game. It's a direct battle for control of the top 4 race. For United, a victory would not only steady the ship after the last result, it would send a powerful message to the rest of the league that the Reds are ready to fight, ready to respond, and ready to secure their place among Europe's best next season. With returning players edging closer, a full Old Trafford behind them, and the Champions League dream hanging in the balance. The stage is perfectly set. Now the question is simple. Will United rise to the moment and strengthen their grip on the top 4? Or will Aston Villa seize the opportunity and shake up the race for Europe? All eyes on Old Trafford this Sunday. The battle continues.